So for hip internal rotation, Pails and Rails from a sundial position. So you want a heavy object that can't be moved. I'm just using a heavy kettlebell here. It can be, a bench, just as long as it's not going to move with the pressure of you driving your foot into it. So you're going to come to an all-four position. You take the working leg outside of the kettlebell, okay, so it's going to be on the outside. From my all-four position here, I'm going to take my hip into internal rotation by me moving around. So I'm going to travel my hands outside towards the outside of the working leg. Okay, so I'm going to stay on all fours, but I'm going to rotate my pelvis around my femur and bring myself into more internal rotation on this leg. So how do we know if we're in end range? We have to come into end range of internal rotation. So if I try to pull my foot away from the kettlebell, there's still a little bit there, so I need to turn around more, rotate my pelvis more until I can't physically pull that foot away. So if I'm over here, I've got a big lift off here, so I need to rotate the pelvis around the femur and come into end range of internal rotation. You should feel a good stretch on the outside of the hip here, and just check that you can't lift your foot. So once you've found your end range position, you're going to hold this stretch for 2 minutes. Just nice relaxed breathing. Tuck your bum under. After the 2 minutes, we're going to do a Pails contraction. Okay, so that just means an isometric contraction. You're going to drive the inside of your foot into the kettlebell, okay, or into an immovable object. So you're going to build that up. So you're going to start to drive it in at 20% effort. Keeping your bottom tucked under, we don't want to go into extension of the lower back here, so everything else is nice and stiff. 40%, you're going to push it hard, double that effort. You're going to take a big deep breath in, pack the air into your tummy, irradiate through the whole body and take it up to 60% effort. We're now just going to focus our breathing on chest breathing only, short, sharp breaths. We're going to go 80%. Then when you're ready, you're going to take the effort up to your greatest, safest effort, max effort, and I'm going to drive it into that kettlebell as hard as I can and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then as soon as I've got into the 1 second, I'm going to attempt to pull my foot away from that kettlebell, straight into max effort, trying to pull it away for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Just sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. You might be able to rotate around a little bit more. You're going to just relax the breathing and hold that stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds. So, Pails contraction, we drive the foot into that kettlebell. We build that up, 20, 40, 60, 80% up to max effort. Because it's a max effort, as hard as you can, contraction, we can't really be holding that for any more than 4 to 5 seconds. And then we go straight into our rails contraction, and that is us trying to pull deeper into internal rotation. So therefore, I'm trying to pull my foot away from the kettlebell, and I go straight into max effort, 4 or 5 second hold, and then I relax. Go back to relaxed breathing, hold that stretch for 20, 30 seconds, and that's your max effort, Pails and Rails contraction for hip internal rotation from a sundial position.